acting pays in applause and painting pays in peace. Welcome back to Creative Struggles. I'm Nahjalae, and today I am joined by a wonderful actor and a phenomenal painter to talk about creating beyond the script and honoring every part of your artistry. So guys, please help me welcome Keshia Ramdhanie.
Hey y'all! Thank you, Nahjalae.
Yes,
I love your
yes.
space.
Thank you for coming.
Of course, I watched all of your episodes, so I'm a big fan. So I'm happy to be here.
Yes, I'm really excited that you came. It's gonna be a good time.
Yeah,
Good time.
good times.
So I would love to get into a great topic today, which it's about art both ways. Art in the creative sense and art also acting wise. So let's get into that.
Let's get into it.
Before we do that, I want to ask, how have you been? I feel like I haven't seen you.
I know it's been a couple of years, right?
Yeah.
But luckily, I follow you on Instagram,
Yeah.
so I know how you've been doing and watching your shows. I've been good. Auditioning, working, getting paid. That's the most important thing. So I've been good.
That's good. Yes, we're blessed. You're blessed.
Yes.
I'm blessed. Let's continue to be blessed. So what type of season are you in?
I would say I'm in a grateful season. I'm in a freedom season. Something that kind of just happened maybe about a month ago. Just cut ties with an agent. And not looking for a new agent right now, which is like for the first time ever not on the track to getting another agent. Things didn't work out with that agent because the owner of the agent started mishandling the funds.
Oh,
Like that. So, but honestly, the actual agent, he was great.
Okay.
The assistant was awesome. I love them. But the owner, he was mishandling. We're going to say mishandling. That's the kind word to use. But
because we could say other words.
yes, we can say other words. But it was nice, honestly, to be so real on this Creative Struggles podcast. I had full freedom to let that go.
Yeah.
Honestly, so that's my season right now, to be straight up with you.
Yeah, honestly, I commend you because as a creative, as an actor, when you're with this agency, manager, agent, and it's like, well, I don't know where to go from here if I'm going to get any other opportunities if they're not doing it for me or what have you. And honestly, I think that just stepping out on faith and just really it's going to work for me. If they can do it, I know I can do it too.
Yeah.
And quite frankly, to be honest, I book a lot of things on my own and not even with an agent. So I just feel like, not to say that they're useless, not saying that at all, but I think that sometimes, we just need to take a step back and really figure out, okay, what are they doing for me?
You can't do for yourself. Yeah. So I totally agree. I feel like we live in a time now where you can do so much for yourself that if there's issues with your agent or representation, why continue that relationship? It's like a bad relationship. Yeah. So even though there were some good things, if it's not all the way good, it's just pointless.
Yeah, definitely. You should do what's best for you. If you feel like something is not working out, even though you feel like it should, unfortunately, you might have to make some other moves because,
I feel like in this situation I was talking about with the agent, me and my twin sister were both signed with that agent, and we were trying to figure out, is there some way we can stay with this agent that we really love, but cut ties with the other part that wasn't working out? It was like, no. I know, probably what are the details to this? But it's like, there was just no way. And I feel like just going back to the thing of trusting that it'll still work out. They're not the gatekeeping anything from you. Agents aren't the end all be all for anything. So as long as you stay sharp in your craft, you will get opportunities and you will work and you will get paid.
I'm glad that you're in a better space now. That's what was needed for you.
Yeah.
And if that agent was meant to be in you guys' life, then I'm sure somehow, some way, they'll come back.
That's what I was thinking. That would be awesome. They were amazing. They were amazing. It was just the other part was not amazing.
And that's the creative world for you.
That's true. That's so true. It's so true, man. You gotta be real.
Yeah.
Gotta be real.
Yeah. because some people are not. So tell me about your acting background. Let's get more into that.
Okay, so I'm not sure if you know, but I started off singing. I'm a singer at heart. I started singing when I was a kid, like 9 years old. Me and my twin sister were in a music group. We performed on Showtime and at the Apollo. We opened up for a guy named Genuine. I'm not sure if you know that guy.
Oh, name drop.
Yes, Keith Sweat. We opened up for him.
Another name drop.
And this was in the South, so we grew up in the South, so did that.
Where?
Mississippi and Georgia.
Okay, nice, nice. My family's from Mississippi.
Okay.
A lot of black.
Yeah. Are they Biloxi area? Columbus? Does that ring a bell?
Louisville.
But I'm sure it's probably close by.
Yeah, very small.
Pretty small. Started singing when I was younger and got into acting because singing doesn't pay the bills, you guys. We're being real about creative struggle. So yeah, singing does not pay the bills. One of the producers that we were working with told us that we should get into commercial acting, and that's what we did, and that's what we're doing. So that's how we got into it.
Nice.
It was kind of, I would say, it was a smooth transition going from singing to acting, because I feel like singing, when you're performing on stage, it's acting. I remember singing Alicia Keys songs when I was 16 years old, talking about making love. Girl, you ain't making love. You don't have no idea what it means to make love. So that was acting. You're acting. So it was a smooth transition.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like as an actor, having many different talents, singing, dancing, musically inclined, playing the piano, drums, I feel like it all goes within being an actor because you can get a role where they are requiring you to sing. And some people can't sing, but you can.
Yeah, I got a role singing. It was do you remember Bill Nye the Science Guy?
Yeah.
So me and my twin sister, we did a segment on like their straight to DVD series where we're singing a song about fire safety.
Yeah.
So I would say that was probably the first time I'd ever got paid for singing, but it was like doing something that kind of childlike, but it was cool, but not really my lane, not really something I wanted to do. But I got paid for it and got to act too. Yeah. So that was fun.
2-for-1 special. So the grind report, people, you already know what it is. What have you been grinding on for the week?
What have I been grinding on this week? I've had some self-tape auditions. That's pretty much it. Yeah.
Felt that.
Yeah. Some of them were like hand model stuff, which is cool. You just take pictures of your hands. The self-tape auditions. Well, not just self-tape, but self-tape auditions. Self-tape auditions. Yes.
Yeah, I feel like we always use that it was just this.
Yeah, we gotta stop doing that.
Yeah, we have to stop. For me, honestly, same.
Well, I mean, that's the life of an actor.
Yeah.
But what I love now about self-tapes is that it is a self-tape because before the pandemic, you had to go down there in person to do it. And now that you don't have to, you have more time to actually be on set or, do our hobbies instead of going down in traffic and being there, going down in traffic for 45 minutes to an hour, being there for 5 minutes, and then that took up 3 hours of your day. So I'm happy with self-tape auditions now.
I am happy with it. I wouldn't say I miss in person, but I feel like with in person, you were able to kind of feel out the room in a sense. And when I moved here, I was going to a lot of in-person stuff. And then, like you said, COVID.
That changed everything overnight. It's crazy because when the pandemic hit, I felt like there was like so many more auditions, more so than in person. Which was overwhelming, very overwhelming, but we got through it.
Yeah. It makes more sense now to just do like a Zoom or, the self-tape audition because, you can, it's quicker opposed to having to go all the way down there. Yeah. It's taking up half of the day. Yeah. You can't find parking. You can't get into this spot because that door is locked. Now you're running late. Yeah.
Have you ever used an audition piece to submit for another audition? Like, have you?
Yes, I have. But
I mean, like, I feel like some of these auditions are asking for the same thing.
Yeah.
So it's like, you haven't seen it, so it's new to you.
I have done that. But like she said, I think a lot of the times they're asking for the same stuff. So, I mean, I know they say, oh, please let it be a current, of what you look like now.
Yeah.
I can look like
exactly. Exactly. I look like that yesterday. I'm going to look like that tomorrow. I'm going to look like that the next day.
Yep.
So.
Although my hair was up, I can put it up.
Yeah,
if I can pull it down. Like, it's really
Exactly.
not the deal. Not some of my best moments, but hey, that's the life of being an actor. You don't have all this time to, especially if they're wanting it due within, the same day that they just sent it. Okay. Well, we're gonna have to reason.
Yeah, exactly. Plus, I don't think they know. They don't know that they're getting something that.
Yeah. I feel like you don't want to do that if it's coming from the same casting
office.
Yeah. Because then it's like, okay.
Yeah, we saw this already.
We've seen this already. So you definitely want to quadruple check and make sure it's not the same people. Because you probably ain't gonna get booked.
Yeah.
So how did you get into painting?
Okay. So when I was younger, I was not that girl that drew and painted and things. I was not into arts and crafts. When I was younger, I was into singing. But when I went to high school, we had to take some art classes in order to graduate, basically. And still back then, I was like, I'm not passionate about it. I'm just doing this to graduate. But turned out I was actually pretty good.
Yeah.
Then once again, I was still singing, still acting. Then the pandemic hit. Got bored, got an iPad and started doodling. Oh, this is pretty good. I'll post it on Instagram. Someone thought it was cool. They wanted to buy some of the things that I made, and that's how I got into that. Then the pandemic was over. Got back to acting again and got some more work as an actor. Then I got into a space where I can get into painting a little bit more. Like, I wanted to find a hobby to do and got back into painting. If that makes sense.
Yeah, I like that because I feel like the pandemic made us become more creative and like taking something that was already deep in us and bringing it out.
Yeah, I totally agree. Totally agree. Now painting it's joyful, it's relaxing. It's not a career path for me by any means, which I love because I have a career. Acting is my career. So painting is just purely a hobby that sometimes people want to pay me for my artwork, and I'll take it. So.
I know that's right.
Yeah,
because I feel like that about making my earrings.
I love
thank you.
Your shirt.
Thank you. I made the shirt and earrings myself. But no, I feel like I always get into this creative moment or have these little bursts where it's like, I can do that. How do I do that? Let me research how to do that. And once I figure it out, then I put my own spin on it. During the pandemic, I started actually making clothes. Not specifically this. I made this back in 2016, 2017.
Really pretty.
Thank you. And the funny thing, kind of like how you were saying, I was just doing it just because I wasn't looking to make a career out of it. I just wanted something to wear. And I posted on Instagram and, I really like the shirt. Can I buy it? And I'm like,
I love that time too during the pandemic where people were wanting to buy stuff, like, and support their friends and family. So that was a good time for sure.
Yeah, for sure. It's really relaxing when you're truly doing something that, can make you just sit back and just doodle, draw, paint, whatever it is.
Especially like if it gets you away from your phone. That's what I enjoy about painting. I can just put my phone not even anywhere near me and zone out for like 3 hours.
Yeah, felt that. That's why I feel, with some nice music in the background and then the phone somewhere else and then you're just in your zone. And it's like, oh, it's 6 hours later. Okay,
let's get something to eat.
So are you like when you get excited or when you're painting, you don't eat in the moment. You're just, okay, really, I need to get this out before I don't visually see it anymore.
Times, but if I get really hungry, I'm kind of like one hand is over here and one hand is trying to eat something.
Yeah.
So it depends on on the mood, or if I do need to just step away to look at something with fresh eyes later, then I'll like, okay, let me step away and go eat, and then I'll return.
I feel like I'm one of those people where if I'm doing something fun or I'm excited or my, adrenaline is rushing, I'm no longer hungry. Food is nowhere in my thoughts. Like, I want to get this done. I would literally starve before I
I'm the exact opposite because I need to eat. I need to eat. Like, that's important for me to put a smile on my face.
Yeah.
I gotta eat.
Yeah. I think I need to be more like Keshia in that sense, because I will literally sit and like my stomach is growling, like, no, I gotta finish. Yeah, which probably why I get annoyed fast.
Yeah, because for me, if I don't eat, I'm gonna get annoyed. So I'm like, to avoid from getting annoyed, I eat something.
Yeah. And then, what you said about having fresh eyes when you come back to it. I just feel like, no, it's going to happen now. The eyes are working now. It's like, no, just give it a minute. Do something else, come back.
Yeah, it's good to have that balance.
Yeah. And that it actually does help. But I'm more of I need this to work now.
Well, I mean, it's working out for you with the earrings and the shirt. So your method is working.
Thank you very much. So let's get into the first of a couple of topics. The need to create outside of being an actor. How do you feel about that? Just more so of not having your head in the acting space, but truly just in an artist space of creating.
Good question. For me, painting, I know that I am creating something, but for me, I feel like it's more of a hobby, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I'm not in creating zone, I'm in relaxation zone. Then it's like, well, you did create something.
Yeah.
But my intention is not to create, if that makes sense.
I like that. I like that thinking of it, because I feel like when you have that thought process of it's just a hobby, it doesn't become strenuous. It's not like, oh, this isn't right. I hate this. Like, why did it not come out the way I wanted to? Well, when it's a hobby, whatever.
Exactly. Which acting, you already have those thoughts of, I'm doing the self-tape. I have to say these lines. If I don't say these lines right, I'm going to have to do it again. All that stuff. I'll have all those thought processes for the acting side. For my hobby, I don't want to think about all that. So
I felt that.
But it's cool that I end up making something out of it. Like creating a painting. I enjoy this because acting, that's not relaxing.
It's not
relaxing. You're playing a whole different person. The scene is either dramatic, that you've never been in this experience before, so you have to personalize and you have to internalize and all that stuff. And it's nice to have a hobby that turns out to be something I created.
You guys, this is the painting that I purchased from Keshia. Let me bring it up to the camera for you guys. Yes, I love it.
Thank you so much.
When I was going through your paintings, I was like, ooh, I like that one too. But then this one stuck out to me the most, because all of your paintings are beautiful.
Thank you.
But you know how it's like that one, it's like speaking to me.
Well, I'm so happy to hear that. That's cool.
Yes. And then I also love apples, so I need to go to the store and get some nice green ones, actually. And that's what it made me think. I'm like, oh, I need an apple.
I'm happy it spoke to you.
Yes. I need to get back into painting. I feel like I'm more so, I like working with my hands. Pottery class. I made it into a butterfly, and I wasn't even trying to do that.
Cool, I can see it.
But yeah, everybody was doing just a simple, like, oh my god, I want to jazz it up a little bit. So yeah,
I love the colors.
Yeah, and I was like, wow, this is really fun. Like, I want to do more of this.
You can even put maybe flowers in there. Have you put anything in there?
I have not. I admire it so much. I don't want to mess it up.
Yeah, it's a work of art on its own.
Yeah, I mean, you can, and you can drink out of it. I wouldn't want to take it that far. It was very fun to do the class because I got outside of my head and I just was there having fun, not thinking about a thing, just in the moment with my hands creating.
Like acting, you do the audition, then you're waiting around did I get a call back? But when you're doing something like this, you don't have to think about that at least for 3 hours.
So yeah, definitely, guys, find a hobby that you feel works for you. It doesn't even have to be anything like life changing. It can just be something that's fun to you and something that you do.
Yeah, and something I would say that takes you away from your phone. Your phone is all the way over there.
We live in this society of we are glued to our phone, social media, what's going on today, something happening tomorrow. It's just so much in the news.
Oh, yeah.
You know, so it's just nice to, okay, I don't care.
Yeah, and the cool thing about our hobbies is that it's for our mental health. It's great too. For mental health, emotional health, spiritual health. Yeah, it's has so many benefits.
Yeah, it definitely does. So guys, please find a hobby.
Yes.
Like today. Well, especially when you're in this space of, you know, creating, being an actor, and you know that's what you want to do. That's what we are, and that's what we're doing. But there are those moments when you're not booking. Exactly. You know, you're not getting a call back. You're not even getting an audition. Like,
exactly.
where are you putting all of that energy or like those negative thoughts?
It even like can alchemize those negative thoughts, turning it into something, a feel good moment.
I definitely want to do that, and then a rage room.
Oh yeah. I feel like if I did one of those, I'd probably end up hurting myself because I'd be going too crazy in there.
Honestly, I just want to try it just to see. And then, no, of course, you have to pay for everything. And you have to pay for the glass.
Really?
Yeah, I looked at it. It's very crazy.
So like per thing you break, you have to pay for it?
Or like, I think it comes in a bundle. You can buy a plate, a set. If you want to smash a car window, I think that's a couple more dollars, which is like, okay.
What if I take all my ex's stuff?
That'll be a good one.
I wouldn't want to do that.
But yeah, you just find something that you love and do it. And then when that moment comes, when they call you and say, hey, you just got this lead part. Hey, we can put the hobby to the side.
Exactly. Right. Exactly. Very true. You'll already be in a good mood.
Yeah.
You're in a good mood to receive that good energy and good news.
Yeah. I feel like that's what I kind of struggle with being. And not to say that I'm always in a bad mood. Yes. I'm not, but I feel like when we have so much going on in our heads, it's kind of hard to just really sit and take in like good news in a sense. I'm one of those people where if I hear good news, I don't really react as much because I don't want to, I guess, jinx it or like something happens. It's now I was too excited. Why did I get excited for something that was supposed to happen anyway?
I feel like I used to be that way. Like whatever. I mean, I'm grateful for it, but also like whatever. But now I'm like, yay! Because I mean, it's money. It's money. It's the thing that you want to be doing. So
yeah, I need to get back into just being more positive. Because again, that the mind takes you places where you just don't want to go in terms of like thinking maybe I'm not good enough. Maybe that's why they didn't pick me. Because you know they don't tell you.
That's not true. They just wanted to do something. Wanted to go in a different direction. It never has anything to do with you.
Yeah. And I realize that now because before I'm like, what did I do wrong? Like they never said anything.
All the time it has nothing to do with you because we're auditioning all Black women and then they ended up wanting to go with a white woman that didn't even audition, something like that. Or they wanted tall, now they want short. It has nothing to do with anyone that auditioned. They just, to the producers or the directors, changed their mind.
Yeah. You know? With that, so do you audition or submit yourself for projects that you don't even match? For example, if it says they're looking for a Caucasian female, do you still submit?
If the role, I feel like it's something I can really do, like a stoic, badass person, I'll submit for that.
Yeah.
But usually I don't see that because I'm sure you're on the same casting site where they'll email you projects that only like fit you. So I don't really see what else I'm looking for.
And when I go through it myself, I just always see like, oh, Caucasian, Latina, what's the project?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just gonna put myself out there, whatever, because they don't know what they do.
Yeah, because like, why not? Why not? Have you ever gotten like an audition from doing that?
I got booked from.
Oh, that's cool. That's what's up. That's what's up.
And it's just so funny because it was for a Latino role. And I don't speak Spanish well.
Yeah.
So I didn't think I was going to book it because I'm not Latina African American. I submitted and went on about my day. And then I get an email, hey, we would love to book you for the show.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
That's so cool.
So then I brushed up on my Spanish because I wasn't sure if they were going to have me speak.
Right. That's cool. I tried to learn Spanish. Like I took Spanish in high school 2 times. I even got flashcards like a couple months ago, and nothing is sticking. So maybe you can teach me Spanish.
Honestly, I'm better off teaching you ASL. Yeah, because Spanish is one of those languages where you probably need to know it.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
Like you said, it's very hard to just take it all in. And I commend the ones that are fluent in English and Spanish and another language, because it's like, wow.
Is it helpful to you to like be around other Spanish speakers? Has that helped at all? Like, or just learning?
I can pick up on certain things that are being said, but if they're speaking fast, you can just forget.
Yeah, I feel like it all sounds like, because I know the syllables are short. That's why it sounds fast to us. But like, I'm sorry, but I can't understand. But I wish I could. I could like sort of like if I read Spanish, I can comprehend that better.
Yeah.
But I can't like hear it or speak it.
That's how I am. Like I can look at something if it's in Spanish, like I can kind of make out what it's saying, especially if it's like directions.
Yeah, exactly.
Self-explanatory in a sense, but but as far as speaking it,
I think my mom's mother is like Spanish, and my mom was always mad that her mother never taught her. But I don't think she knew either. None of us know.
Yeah, that's so funny. So what does painting give you that acting doesn't, and vice versa?
I would say painting, I love working by myself when it comes to painting. It's just me and my creator working in tandem to be in a space where I'm just making something. I love that space. Whereas acting, I'm collaborating with other people, and I love that. So it's just basically polar opposites.
Yeah.
What I'm getting out of each thing. But I love collaborating on the acting side with directors, producers, other actors. And painting, I just get to be by myself.
Yeah. I like the whole I'm in my own moment, my own time. No one's bothering.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I get in those moments where I don't want to be bothered. I don't want to talk.
Same.
So that moment allows me to just get out my frustrations into my artwork. And then I feel a lot better. And like you said, as far as acting goes, I love being around other people too. Because you're getting different perspectives, and it's also networking as well. So I love that too.
Yeah.
Me and networking, it's a little difficult.
Same for me. I mean, I'm not a big fan of going to places and for the purpose of networking. I feel like I'd rather it come natural. If I happen to be somewhere at the same time with someone maybe I should work with in the future. I'm more that style of a person too. Yeah.
It's not as hard for me to talk to people anymore, but just very to myself.
Yeah.
Just very quiet and just scared to talk to people. I've grown out of it. But there's those moments where it's like, okay, I think I'm gonna just stand somewhere.
Yeah, man, I feel that. When I was younger too, I was pretty quiet. I mean, I feel like I'm still a very quiet person today. I have a twin sister, so she's like the one that I'm acting crazy with and talking loud and all that stuff. And my family too. But yeah, for the most part, I'm pretty quiet too.
Yeah, us quiet people have to stick together.
Yes, we got to stick together.
Because we actually have a lot to say. We just are observers. We just want to see what's going on.
Exactly. I want to see what's going on before I
insert myself.
Yes.
And some people don't understand that. And I was like, how do you don't observe first?
Like, like I never understood, like, how could you come in the ring with just, I'm like, hi, let me see, what do you guys even talking about before
it could be something that has nothing to do with anything like that. And I'm just like, this was the conversation I didn't.
Yeah. Okay. Exactly. That's a good point though. Morals, like, what are you guys talking about? Let me make sure we're on the same page. If we're not, then I don't want to be the person trying to argue with you.
Yeah, it's like, what's the point? We're not even on the same page, let alone in the same notebook. Being questioned about your craft. I feel like on the acting side, people expect you to, well, you're an actor, so why are you trying to take up other things which could take you away from following your dream as being an actor? But I feel like we live in a time where we don't have to just do one thing. And still have that focus being acting, but we can also incorporate and add on to that as well. But do you ever get questioned? Are you still acting? What happened to that?
Funny thing is, when I was singing and got into acting, a lot of people would say, "Well, are you still singing? Why aren't you singing anymore? When are you gonna have a song?" It's like, I can't control that. And I mean, I wish the music business was, favored the artists more. It does not. But yeah, I got those questions when I transitioned from singing into acting more so.
Yeah, I feel like I get questioned about as far as when I do something for an extended period of time, then I kind of stop. Like when I was making my funny videos, my funny skits, and I just kind of stopped. Not to say that I didn't want to continue on, but I don't know. I was just kind of feeling like, oh, there's no one really paying attention, so I just kind of stopped. And then when I stopped, oh, are you?
So yeah. Those types of people that are, it's like, you're not engaging in the first place, so how are you? At least you're not publicly engaging. So now you have something to say.
Yeah,
I don't like that kind of thing either.
yeah. Because like, so you sat and watched them, you didn't comment, like, subscribe, anything, and now you're asking about. Okay.
I feel like those kinds of questions come from people that aren't even in the business most of the time, and you just kind of have to be like, okay, this person doesn't understand, and give them grace, keep it moving.
Yeah, especially family. We love you. However, give us grace when we're trying to figure things out.
Yeah.
Because we don't have to tell you everything that's going on as far as acting. They want to know because they want to support you, but also you don't want to put your own foot in your mouth by like speaking up about a project too soon.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's like, oh, you don't get booked for it. And it's like, oh, what? I thought you were going to be in a project. I told everybody.
Yeah.
Do that?
Like, again, I feel like they just don't understand. Like it's not the same as like working a 9 to 5 and there's promotions and guaranteed security. That's just not the case in acting. You can be offered a job and then they don't film the thing. You can actually book it and then they're not filming it anymore. And then, now you got to go back and tell whoever, whenever they ask, oh, did you shoot it? And like, no, but I did book it. And funny thing is, me and my sister, we booked 3 SAG national commercials about 10 years, no, maybe 15 years ago. None of them aired. None of them aired. And it was like, luckily, I don't think we told people that we booked it so that they can watch it. It was just, I'm like, thankfully I didn't tell people because that would have been like, okay, I thought you said you booked this. First of all, we did book it, but booking something and airing is just totally different.
Not even in the same part.
Yeah, exactly. It's totally different things.
Yeah. I think I've learned to just keep the good news of what it is to myself until honestly I wrap.
Yeah.
Because
I agree.
Even when you book it, it's still kind of, I feel like I'm holding my breath.
Yes,
because,
exactly.
There are instances where something can happen and they don't want you anymore.
Exactly.
And now,
you never know.
You just don't know. So I would never want to like be too eager to tell and it's not what it was supposed to be. And now I have to go back.
Yeah, exactly. Nowadays I just like whenever it airs, then I'll send it or post it and you can see then. But I feel like there's so many different obstacles that come into play before it even gets to air, if it airs.
Yeah.
So I
like,
learned
how long were you on the screen?
Exactly.
Okay. How long?
Yeah, exactly. And then sometimes you do background or something like that, and then that's when someone sees you that you didn't even tell them about, but they saw you.
Yeah.
Which is cool too.
Yeah. I was on Judge Mathis. I think like 2 years ago. And I booked that and I was just kind of like, first of all, I booked that through an agency and I was kind of taken back because I could have booked that myself.
Yeah.
What, like, what?
Yeah.
I booked that and it was an experience, but I didn't tell anybody about that. And I didn't even know when it was going to air. I just kind of forgot about it. And someone like DM'd me, "You're on Judge Mathis."
Were you one of the, what's it called? The defendant?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I was the plaintiff.
Okay.
And yeah, so it wasn't real. They give you a script
Yeah.
and you read it. And then, of course, when you get there, they change everything up. So now it's like, okay, so what am I supposed to be saying?
That's interesting. So it's like an outline of something that.
Yeah, so it's basically like who your character is, the backstory, and what they were changing up was like the paperwork that I would be like giving to Judge Mathis, and they switched it like 5 times. And I already had in my head of how I was going to say things and, the paperwork. When they switched it, I'm like, okay, what I'm going to say does not make sense because it doesn't match the paper. So now I have to come up with something else.
That sounds like a test of improv.
Yeah. Yeah. But it worked out fine. I'm playing against someone that is not my sister, but we looked alike. So it was like,
That's funny.
Is that your sister? Really? I'm like, no, that's not even my name.
So the person that saw it thought that it was a real thing.
Yeah. And they were like, but that's not your name. Yeah. I know.
It's called
acting.
It's called a role, a character name.
They were like, that's not your name. My name's not Christina. I'm like, yeah. But yeah, it was just like, I didn't tell anybody about that. Reached out to me and told me it was on. I'm like, oh, okay, I guess I can tell people. Yeah. It was months later too, so I didn't even think about it. So yeah, I feel like when things happen that way, it's like, okay, I guess it's time to say something.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Art being therapy. I think that in the Black community, when we talk about a therapist or going to see somebody, it's like, why would you do that?
Or it's used as a joke.
Yeah, you're in therapy.
Yeah. Or a diss. It's like, oh, you need to go to therapy.
Yeah.
I mean, the way some people say it, sometimes it's like a diss.
Yeah. It's like, actually, I am it.
Yeah.
Maybe you should get too. When you're in therapy, you're talking to someone and they can help you sort out your issues or whatever you're going through. When we transfer that over to, the creative space, being an artist, how is it therapeutic for you?
Very, very therapeutic, especially during the pandemic. I needed something to do. I feel like during that time I was just got out of a relationship that I shouldn't have been in the first place. So I was working through those feelings at home. No one could go out the house.
Yep. No one could come to
the house. So you had to basically get through it, but at home. So that's where I grabbed the iPad, started doodling. So that was therapeutic for me. Yeah, that was my way of dealing with the pandemic. We lost our jobs, ending relationships that we should not have been in. So yeah, it was definitely therapeutic. Absolutely therapeutic for me.
Yeah.
I'm kind of like remembering. Yeah, therapeutic
exact moment.
Sure. Like, oh my gosh. Like, honestly, I don't know what I would have done. There was so much going on. So much going on. Yeah, I needed color and paper and pencils and I'm just getting flashbacks now because dang, the pandemic just wow. I mean,
if you really think about it, that was just something that's going to go in the books.
Yeah, like that was like unexpected, and you had to get your stuff together instantly.
Literally, you would go to the store and stand in a line. You had to be 6 feet apart from each other. Like you go outside and there's no one.
Yes.
Literally no one.
Yes.
I was in a space of, I had just moved here June. So I had been here for like a couple, almost a year. When that officially happened. And I didn't know anyone still. Like I barely even got outside of my apartment because I was working like a dog trying to afford this California rent. And I feel like I was in a dark spot because I was just alone. I didn't have anybody to talk to. besides the people back home, which
Mhm.
that's Wisconsin.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and that's how I got into creating earrings.
That's awesome.
I feel like, it's those moments,
Mhm.
unfortunately, that things to light,
Yeah. I feel like
so.
it was a test of for everyone.
Hmm.
What can you do? It's dark. Can you make something out of this? This is
Yeah.
an opportunity for you to do that. It's not ideal,
Yeah.
but it's a test. Can you? Can you? Will you? Will you do something with this? And I'm glad you did.
Yeah.
I'm glad you made the earrings, and I'm glad I got into painting because
Mhm.
we're not in the pandemic right now, but it's still helpful to me to do it.
Yeah.
Enjoy and just be at
Mhm.
peace. And I feel like it. So
Be very
zen. Yes.
Yeah, I think that art is therapy.
Mhm. Absolutely.
Pick whatever and just create.
Without expectations too,
Hmm. Yeah.
without even trying to sell.
Mhm.
I remember during the pandemic, I did some commissioned pieces for some friends and family, and I enjoyed it, but it started to feel like work. And I'm like, I don't want to go that route
Yeah.
with it. Although I know that you guys want to work with me, but I really don't want to do that. So let me keep it as my hobby and as a therapeutic thing that I'm doing. So I'm happy I stuck to that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. I felt that
Mhm.
because I feel like when I tell people about my earrings or they
Mhm.
see them, it's like, why aren't you selling this,
Mhm.
at a flea market?
Yeah. It's like, cause you don't want to.
Yeah, it's like that's first of all, I would overwhelm me
Yeah.
quite a bit
Mhm.
because now I have to have this
Yes,
expectation of,
exactly.
okay, so I got here, I paid all this money
Mhm.
for this
Yeah.
for this booth.
Yeah.
What if no one buys it?
Mhm.
What if I'm just sitting there? Now it becomes like a job
Yeah, a
in a
job. It's
sense.
like,
I don't want it to
yeah.
be that.
Yeah, especially if you already have a job.
I mean, if it can be a job, I hate to be
Yeah.
both my two jobs that I have.
Yeah.
Moving on. But no, like I just wouldn't want it to become a job where
Mhm.
now it's like I'm expecting money.
Yeah. Yeah.
Granted, I do sell them on
Mhm.
Etsy, so
Mhm.
I am expecting
Mhm.
money.
Yeah.
But when it comes to like just putting it out there at a
Mhm.
flea market, it's like now I need
Yeah,
to.
exactly. Because you did spend money for the booth.
Yeah.
You have to make that money back.
Yeah. So I just kind of look at it like, if people are able to find it on
Mhm.
Etsy or if I'm telling someone about it and they actually go and buy it, that's good for
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
Um, because as I'm making them, there's no rhyme or reason
Yeah.
why.
Yeah.
I'm just putting
Yeah.
colors together
Mhm.
and just rolling out
Yeah.
there and
Mhm.
seeing what comes of
Yeah.
it.
I love that you know yourself enough to know what you're wanting to do and what you're not wanting to do.
Yeah. And I feel like that's what we have to do. Any,
Mhm.
as far as ourselves, like what are we willing to do? How far are
Mhm.
we willing to
Yeah.
take it?
Exactly.
Because I don't want to lose
Yeah.
myself in it
Yeah.
and forget why I'm even
Yeah.
there in the first
Exactly.
place.
Same for me.
And that I feel like that goes with working too, a job. I'm not here to work a job.
Yeah.
I'm here to act,
Yeah.
and yet I'm working two jobs, as I said.
Well, there'll be a day when you're doing it full time. It'll be worth it.
Yeah.
It'll be worth the wait because you can then put all that experience into any role that you get that requires you to have that experience.
Yeah. So, hey, Janet of all trades here.
Yeah, I love that. I saw in another episode you said you went to school for
Criminal justice.
That's so cool.
Well, so my freshman year, it was criminal justice when I went to Tennessee State University, HBCU. But I unfortunately did not stay the full 4 years. My sophomore year, I did transfer back home because I was feeling homesick and I went to a PWI. So I had, both experiences.
Yeah. That's
But
good. That's good.
but yeah, they didn't have criminal justice at the school I transferred to. So I had to switch it to criminology,
Okay.
which is pretty much the same thing. But
That's cool. But can you imagine one day when you do book a role that requires that?
yeah,
That's cool.
because I wanted to be a homicide
Mhm.
detective. And I say that now, but really thinking back, I feel like I only wanted to do that because I was trying to follow in someone else's footsteps. Because I've always been a true artist at heart.
Yeah.
Like you were saying in high school, you were art class and things like that. I enjoyed art. That was like my favorite subject of all. And just truly just being in the space and creating whatever I wanted to. And there was no rhyme or reason. I just did it for the grade.
Yeah, exactly, for the grade.
But also,
I saw that you, on another episode, you guys watched all her episodes, where you created that picture where choose wisely. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
Thank you. Yeah, I did that in class, and it was for a competition against other schools, and I had that in the back of my mind, but that wasn't the focus.
Yeah.
I just wanted to draw it
Okay.
because I had this vision of how I wanted to create it, and I just wanted to get it on the paper. And when I won, I was like, okay, cool.
That's awesome. That's
so-
cool. That's really cool.
Thanks. Yeah, I still have it to this day. I need to frame it.
It should be framed.
Yeah, it definitely does. So yeah, I'll frame it one of these days. I am not SAG yet. I'm SAG eligible.
Well, that's
I have
good.
been SAG eligible for a long time now.
Does that mean you cannot do SAG work?
No, I
You
can.
can.
But if I book another SAG thing, I have to become SAG.
You have to pay the full union fee.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not. Back in 2006, I believe, I know the fee was like maybe $1,500 or something like that. I didn't have that. So my mom and dad, they paid it for me. But then I paid it back.
Yeah.
When I booked stuff, I gave them the money back for it. But yeah, it's pretty expensive, but it's worth it. It's worth it in the long run.
Because I guess my thought behind it was, well, if I join, then I can't do any non-union.
Yeah. Well, you can be SAG Phi Core, which means you can do both. Yeah.
Okay.
That means you don't have any voting rights for SAG, like whenever they have whatever they're voting for. But you can do both. You can do SAG work and non-union because there's mostly non-union work these days.
Yeah.
You got to get paid, so you can't say no to non-union.
Yeah.
That's the thing. If you do become SAG, then you can also then become SAG Phi Core, which means you can do both.
Oh, you learn something new every day. I always thought it was you either had to be non-union or SAG. There was like no middle.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
now that I know that, are you fully SAG? Or are you SAG Phi?
SAG Phi Core. Got into the union in 2006. By 2012, I believe, things started to become non-union, and it's like, well, I gotta do this job, so now I gotta become Phi Core, which is fine. Doesn't make a difference to casting directors.
Okay.
It's just you need the job, you know.
Yeah.
You can't just wait on SAG, otherwise you'll just be waiting forever.
Yeah. That's good to know. Now that I know that, I'm going to do my research.
Yes.
Like I say all the time.
Yeah, I'm guessing that maybe for SAG, the union fees, I'm guessing maybe they have payment plans now. I would hope so.
Yeah, I would hope so. Moving on to, it is a win. It's a win for you.
Something cool. I told you at the beginning of this episode about cutting ties with this agent. So the very next day after I cut ties with them, I booked something that didn't go through them. So I was happy about that. It was a hand model job that I submitted myself on.
Yeah.
So I was happy that I booked that on my own. Yeah. And that for me, thank you. For me, it showed that, yes, Keshia, you don't need this agent and keep doing what you're doing. Yeah. So I love that confirmation from the universe that I made the right choice to cut ties. Yeah. That agent.
And I feel like it's all a test to see if you are going to pull through for you.
Yes, exactly. It's tough. It's tough though.
It really is, because it's like, well, what do I do? Well, I don't know what to do. Should I just call it quits, or should I just step out and do it? Yeah. I feel like those battles are always the hardest because you truly don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't see to the future. So you only know what you know.
Sometimes you have to be patient and wait for the answer. Sometimes the answer is to don't do anything.
Yeah.
Don't do anything right now. What you need to do is actually nothing.
And that's the hard part.
It is.
Because you want to do something so bad, and the lesson is actually patience.
Yeah. So true. So true. So true.
So, yes. And in the moment of stillness,
be still. Because there's so many things that are going on behind the scenes that it's working out on your favor.
Yeah.
You just don't know it yet. It's working out. You just hold on.
Just pause.
Yes, pause. You will see it soon when you're supposed to see it.
Yeah. Those moments are, but when it pulls through and everything falls in line, in alignment, it's like,
yes,
I knew it.
Yes, yes. And then keep on doing that. Keep on being patient. Keep on being still where you're supposed to. Yeah.
Yeah.
Keep waiting. Sometimes you do have to wait. Sometimes you do have to do nothing.
Yeah. So. And for, people that are a little antsy, that can be a little difficult, a little tricky.
Yeah. Then that's where you go and do your hobby.
Yep.
That's when you go and do your hobby.
Yep.
And something else.
Forget about it.
Yep. Seriously.
Yeah. I want to move on to advice for creatives. So what's some advice you can give to creatives?
I would say this is probably relevant to people that don't live in big cities. I would say you don't necessarily have to move to a big city to do this for a living. Places in your area that you can make a difference in where you live, whether that's teaching, maybe you're a singer, maybe you can learn how to teach kids in your area. You don't have to move to a big city to live your dreams. I'll say that. So find something in your area that you can contribute to your community. Yeah, I would say that.
That's good advice. Thank you. My advice, specifically for this episode, I will say, be still, have confidence.
I love it.
Be patient. All the things that I'm actually telling to myself. But I want to let that in on you guys too.
It's good advice. And especially in a time where you get so many things on Instagram telling you to do something, make something, It's like sometimes you already made this stuff. Sometimes then you just need to not. Just chill. Just be patient and be still.
Exactly. So yeah, that's my advice for you good people. Moving on to Pick a Struggle. My new game segment. We're going to have Keshia pick struggle. Okay. Would you rather create only for yourself or create for an audience?
If I had to pick one, that is a struggle choice because I like both. Say create for an audience. I like sharing what I'm doing and I love collaborating with other experts at their field. So I would choose that.
Okay. Would you rather be known for one thing or respected for many?
I would love to be respected for many. I think I'm talented in what I do, but also I have great character. So I want to be respected for my great character as well as what I do for a living.
I second that. Would you rather play the same typecast role repeatedly or struggle to get casted at all?
Same typecast role casting. What's that? But yeah, I would choose that in a heartbeat. I don't want to struggle to get cast. Just cast me for the same thing. I'm down.
And the crazy thing is some people, they don't want to be typecast, so they choose not to even like, nope, I'm waiting for this role, this other role. It's like, well, if you really think about it, yes, you could be getting typecast. However, those doors could be opening another door that has nothing to do with the typecast persona that you're playing.
Yeah, I choose typecast all the way. I feel like the other part, as far as getting different roles, I feel like if you want to play a doctor, maybe pretend. You don't have to necessarily get cast to play that doctor. You can join an improv group and play a doctor. Always play a doctor when your time comes up to play a character. You don't have to get cast and get paid for that. There's other ways that you can explore those types of things.
Would you rather finish everything imperfectly or perfect nothing?
I would say finish everything imperfectly. I like that. I don't like perfection. I like trying all sorts of stuff, and I know it's not going to all be perfect, so I would choose that.
I second that too. But that is going to be it for today.
Thank you so much for having me. Yes, I love this.
Thank you.
I've been looking forward to this since you asked me.
Yes,
happy to be here.
I'm so happy that you came. Truly, I admire you very much. So, I have watched all of your past work. You and your twin sister.
I really appreciate it.
I think you are a true artist.
Thank you so much. I feel the same way about you.
So, yes, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, honestly, for letting me just be me.
Yeah.
Because this is my first podcast, and I get to just be myself and have fun in your space.
Yes. Yes, it's very, chill, down to earth. There's nothing really to it but to do it.
Yeah.
Actually, it's just It's really fun. You know, I don't require much. Just a couple of laughs here and there.
Yeah.
But yes, tell the good people where they can find you, Keshia.
So you can find me on Instagram on Keshia and Ram. That's my handle. And on Etsy, my handle is Paintings by Keshia. I have lots of paintings there. Right now, everything is $40, and I have some digital downloads for $5. But that's where you can find me.
Perfect, Keshia. Again, thank you for your time. Because time is valuable nowadays. But guys, please remember to like, comment, subscribe, leave a review, send an email, do what you can, please. Struggling here. But that is it for today, guys. I will see you next week with a guest or maybe solo. Watch it to find out.